Welcome to Zoe Stories. I lost a bet at school. Now I'm wearing skirts. The first step into the classroom was like stepping off a cliff, and there was no way back. The second I crossed the threshold, the room froze. Chairs squeaked. Pens stopped scratching across paper. 20 pairs of eyes snapped onto me, wide with disbelief. For a second, I thought maybe I'd imagined it all, that I was still safe in my jeans, still Ethan. But then the swish of the skirt against my thighs betrayed me, the faint shimmer of the pantyhose catching the morning light. The silence shattered. "Oh my God," someone shrieked. "Look at him," another laughed. "No way, he actually did it." The sound hit me like a wave. I wanted to bolt, to tear the skirt off and run out of school forever. But Samantha's hand landed firmly on my shoulder, grounding me. No, trapping me. Her nails pressed just hard enough to remind me, "You can't escape." She guided me to a seat, her chin lifted in challenge, as if daring anyone to push too far. I slid into my chair, head down, trying to make myself invisible. But it didn't work. The giggles never stopped. Whispered comments floated around me. "Looks kinda cute. Did he shave his legs? Bet he likes it." Each word sank like a dagger. My ears burned. My hands clenched under the desk, so tightly my knuckles ached. The teacher, Mr. Davis, finally entered. His gaze swept the room, then froze on me. His mouth opened, then closed. He blinked, clearly torn between outrage and bewilderment. But Samantha spoke up before he could. "Mr. Davis, Ethan lost a bet. We all agreed he had to wear it. It's harmless." Her voice was smooth, controlled, like she was the one in charge, not him. After a long pause, Mr. Davis sighed and muttered, "Fine. But keep the distractions down." The class erupted again, laughter bubbling until he slammed a book against his desk. Silence fell, but the damage was done. My humiliation was carved deep. After class, Samantha dragged me into the girls' restroom again. She stood me in front of the mirror, arms crossed. "Look at yourself." I shook my head. "I can't." "You will." Her tone brooked no argument. Slowly, trembling, I lifted my gaze. The reflection was devastating. The navy skirt framed my hips. The blouse clung too tightly across my chest. The pantyhose shimmered, turning my legs into smooth, delicate lines. And the lip gloss, God, the lip gloss, made my mouth look soft, kissable. That wasn't me. It couldn't be me. "I look like a joke," I whispered. Samantha's expression softened, but only slightly. "No. You look like a girl. That's the problem. You can pull it off." Her words twisted in my chest. A curse and a compliment at once. By lunch, the news had spread through the entire school. When I entered the cafeteria, heads turned. Some students laughed openly, pointing. Others stared with wide-eyed fascination, whispering. A few girls even clapped, as if I'd done something brave instead of humiliating. I kept my eyes on the floor, but it didn't help. "Hey, cutie," a voice called from across the room. Male mocking. "Spin for us, sweetheart," another jeered. Samantha, unfazed, marched me to her table and sat me down among her friends. They crowded in, studying me like some fascinating experiment. "He actually has the legs for it," one said, twirling a fry. "Totally. With makeup, he could pass easy. Bet he'd make a prettier girl than half of us." Their laughter rang in my ears. I wanted to melt into the floor. Samantha, though, just smiled faintly. She didn't mock me outright. She let the others do it while she observed, her eyes sharp, unreadable. When lunch ended, she pulled me aside. "You handled that better than I thought," she said quietly. "Better?" My voice cracked. "They humiliated me. Everyone's laughing." "Exactly," she cut me off. "But you didn't run. You survived. That's more than most guys could do." Her words twisted my stomach. Was she praising me or tightening the leash? I couldn't tell. By the time the day ended, my nerves were raw. Every step in that skirt had been agony. Every whisper a knife. I couldn't remember a single thing from class. I'd been too focused on holding myself together, on not breaking down in front of everyone. As I left school, Samantha caught my arm. Not bad for day one, she said, smirking. But if you're going to do this again, we'll need to do it properly. I froze. Again. Oh, Ethan, she said sweetly, her eyes glinting with something I couldn't name. This is only the beginning. My heart dropped. The beginning? She smiled like she was helping me, but every kindness felt like a chain tightening around my neck. The air outside was crisp, the late afternoon sun painting the sky in soft gold. I hugged my books to my chest, hoping the pose would shield me from lingering stares. But it didn't. Even the passing groups of students on their way home still whispered as I passed. Is he still in the skirt? Guess he's really going all in. He doesn't even look that bad. Their words clung to me like burrs I couldn't shake. Samantha strolled at my side, calm as ever, her long hair swaying with each step. She acted like none of the attention bothered her, like she was proud of the spectacle. Finally, when the crowds thinned, she said softly, "You know you didn't do that badly today." I shot her a glare. Didn't do badly? They laughed at me all day. I was a joke. She tilted her head, studying me. Yes, they laughed. But did you notice the girls at our table? They didn't laugh. They studied you. Some even complimented you. That's worse, I hissed. They weren't laughing because they thought I was ridiculous. They were laughing because I actually looked believable. Her smirk said I'd walked right into her trap. Exactly. We reached her house. She lived only a few blocks away, and I often walked her home. Today, though, she invited me inside before I could make an excuse to run. Come on. You need a break, she said casually. Besides, if you're going to survive tomorrow, you'll need adjustments. Tomorrow? I froze on the doorstep. No way. The bet was one day. That's it. Samantha leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Her voice dropped to a soft, almost pitying tone. Ethan, if you stop now, what do you think happens Monday? Do you think people will forget? No. They'll hound you. Every hallway, every class, the whispers will never stop. Her words hit too close. She was right. I could already imagine the jeers, the nicknames, the endless teasing. But she continued smoothly. If you lean into it, if you let me guide you, they'll stop laughing at Ethan in a skirt and start seeing Ella. And once that happens, they won't mock you. They'll respect you. Ella? I echoed, the name foreign and dangerous on my tongue. She smiled sweetly. Your feminine twin. That's what they were saying at lunch, remember? You're halfway there. I can help you finish it. I should have run. Slammed the door on her manipulative kindness. But the truth? A part of me, small, shameful, wanted to know what she meant. Her room smelled faintly of vanilla candles and perfume. Posters lined the walls, fashion models, actresses, glossy magazine cutouts. I sat nervously on her bed while she rummaged through her closet, pulling hangers aside with purpose. You've got good legs for skirts, she murmured, half to herself. But the top half needs balance. She tossed a pale pink blouse onto the bed beside me. The fabric was soft, silky, with a delicate bow at the collar. My throat tightened just looking at it. I'm not putting that on, I muttered. Relax. It's just fabric, she said, almost gently. Besides, you can't wear that stiff school shirt forever. If you want to blend in, you need variety. The way she said blend in like it was survival, not fashion, made my chest tighten. Against my better judgment, I let her hand me the blouse. Changing in front of her was humiliating enough. The moment the fabric slid over my skin, light and smooth, my reflection in her mirror shifted again. The bow tied at my throat softened my face, the pink against my skin making me look delicate. Samantha stepped closer, tucking the hem properly, adjusting the sleeves. Her fingers brushed my wrist. See? Not so bad. My pulse thundered. I thought it would end there. But she wasn't done. Now sit, she ordered, pointing to the vanity stool. I shook my head. No. Samantha. Her tone sharpened, though her smile remained. Ethan, they'll rip you apart tomorrow if you walk in half done. Do you want that? Or do you want to actually stand a chance? The worst part? She made it sound like she was protecting me, like this was kindness, not cruelty. So I sat. She leaned in, brush in hand, her breath warm on my cheek. The faint scent of her perfume wrapped around me as she worked. Powder dusted across my skin, foundation smoothing out every trace of boyish roughness. "Close your eyes," she whispered. I obeyed. Soft strokes of eyeshadow brushed my lids, mascara pulling my lashes long and dark. A faint shimmer highlighted my cheekbones. Then, the finishing touch, lip gloss, glossy and pink. When she finally stepped back, her eyes gleamed with triumph. "Look." I turned slowly to the mirror. The reflection wasn't Ethan in a skirt. It wasn't even Ethan with a blouse. It was a girl. The smooth skin, the delicate bow, the wide eyes framed with lashes, the gloss lips slightly parted in shock. The skirt completed it, tying every piece together. "Ella," Samantha said softly, almost reverently. "There she is." My stomach dropped. Tears burned at the corners of my eyes. I pushed back from the vanity, shaking my head. "No. This isn't me. This is your game." Samantha crouched in front of me, her tone still maddeningly gentle. "Ethan, listen to me. You think this is a joke? They'll never let you go back. Not clean. You'd be the school freak forever. But if you let Ella breathe, you'll survive. More than survive, you'll be adored." Her words were knives wrapped in silk. I wanted to scream, to tear the bow from my throat, to smear the gloss from my lips. Instead, I whispered, broken, "I don't want to be adored as her. I just want to be me." She tilted her head, eyes narrowing just slightly. "Then maybe you don't know who you really is anymore." The room spun. My reflection mocked me. Ella stared back with soft, tearful eyes. Samantha's phone buzzed. She checked it, smirked, and then looked back at me. "Perfect timing," she said. "A few of the girls want to hang out tonight. And they want to meet Ella." My blood ran cold. "No," I whispered. "Yes," she replied. "It's time to test if she can survive outside these walls." The bow at my throat suddenly felt like a noose. I thought the bet was my worst nightmare, until I walked into a room full of her friends, dressed as someone I didn't even recognize. I clutched the edge of Samantha's vanity stool, my knuckles white. "You can't be serious. I'm not going out like this. Not like her." Samantha just leaned back against her dresser, arms crossed, smug smile plastered across her face. She was infuriatingly calm. "Ethan, do you honestly think you have a choice? If you stay home, you'll look like a coward. Everyone at school will know. They'll say you couldn't handle one night. But if you come with me—" Her eyes flicked to my reflection, the girl in the bow-tied blouse and skirt, gloss lips trembling. "You'll own it." I shook my head. "I'm not some doll you can parade around." Her voice softened dangerously. "No. You're Ella. And Ella is about to meet her first audience." I wanted to rip the makeup off, shove the blouse back at her, storm out. But the thought of those whispers, coward, loser, freak, gnawed at me. She knew my fear better than I did. She used it like a leash. "Finally," I croaked, 1 hour. Then I'm done." Her smile widened. "That's all I need." Her friends had gathered at Jess's house across town. Samantha insisted we take her mom's car. The ride felt endless. Every streetlight revealed my reflection in the window, shiny lips, soft lashes, the bow at my throat. I tried to pull my hair forward to shield my face, but Samantha swatted my hands away. "Stop fidgeting. Confidence, Ella. That's what sells the illusion." "I'm not selling anything," I muttered. She smirked. "You will." When we pulled up outside Jess's house, I froze. Laughter floated through the open windows. Shadows moved across the curtains, 6 girls at least. My stomach twisted into knots. The door swung open before I could protest. Jess herself greeted us, tall, confident, curls bouncing as she squealed. "Oh my God, you actually did it." Her eyes swept over me, drinking in every detail of my outfit. I shrank back instinctively, but Samantha's hand pressed firmly against my back, guiding me forward like a lamb to slaughter. Jess clapped her hands. "Girls, come here. You have to see this." Suddenly, I was surrounded. A ring of faces, wide-eyed and grinning, circling me like predators fascinated by their prey. Look at the blouse, it's adorable. Her hair. Did you style it, Sam? No way, he actually looks cute. Heat flooded my cheeks. I wanted the floor to swallow me. Samantha announced proudly. Everyone meet Ella. The name hit like a slap. I opened my mouth to correct her, but the word died in my throat. 6 pairs of eyes waited expectantly, ready to mock. If I said Ethan, they'd tear me apart. So I stayed silent. And in that silence, Ella was born. The girls pulled me into the living room. Music thumped from a speaker, lights dim but playful. A spread of snacks covered the table. It should have been a normal hangout. But with every glance, every giggle, I felt like a specimen under glass. Jess thrust a soda into my hand. Relax, Ella. We don't bite. Her words dripped with irony. They pepper me with questions. Do you like skirts? What's your size? Have you ever worn heels? Each one making me squirm more. At one point, Natalie, the boldest of the bunch, leaned close and whispered, You blush prettier than half the girls here. Careful, you'll make us jealous. The group erupted into laughter. My face burned hotter. Just when I thought it couldn't get worse, Samantha clapped her hands. Okay, girls, who's up for a makeover? The cheer that followed was deafening. Before I could react, they pulled me into Jess's bedroom. Clothes exploded from her closet, skirts, dresses, crop tops. Makeup bags spilled across the bed. The girls moved with ruthless excitement, like a pack of stylists with one unwilling mannequin. Try this dress. Hold still. Eyeliner next. No, those earrings will be perfect on her. Hands tugged at my clothes, smeared colors across my face, clipped jewelry onto my ears. I was dizzy, lost in a storm of fabrics and powders and giggles. Every protest drowned beneath their chatter. Finally, they stepped back, satisfied. I turned to the mirror. The girl staring back wasn't just passable. She was striking. Hair curled softly, eyes lined and shimmering, lips painted a bold berry red. A short floral dress hugged my frame, paired with tights and, God help me, heels. I gasped. I don't. Samantha's hands landed on my shoulders, firm, steady. Say it, she whispered in my ear. Say you're Ella. The girls chanted. Ella, Ella, Ella. My knees wobbled. My heart screamed Ethan, but my lips parted and whispered, Ella. Cheers exploded around me. With my identity sealed, the girls dragged me back into the living room. They handed me a drink, stronger than soda this time. Music blared louder. At first, I clung to the corner, praying to disappear. But Samantha wouldn't allow it. She pulled me into their circle, forced me to dance, to laugh, to smile. And against all odds, part of me did. For a fleeting moment, the humiliation melted into something dangerous, acceptance. Compliments flew. Laughter wrapped around me like warmth. They weren't mocking me anymore. They were including me. But that warmth was a trap. Because then Jess pulled out her phone. Group pic, she chirped, holding up her camera. Panic surged. No. No pictures. Oh, come on, Natalie teased, looping an arm around me. You look amazing, Ella. Don't be shy. The flash went off before I could escape. 1, 2, 3 pictures, me in the floral dress, laughing, blushing, heels and all. My blood turned to ice. Jess grinned at her screen. These are so good. Everyone at school is going to die when they see them. I lunged forward. Delete them. She pulled the phone back, smirking. Relax. It's just fun. But I knew. By Monday morning, those photos would be everywhere. And there would be no going back. Samantha leaned in close. Her whisper meant only for me. See, Ethan? Or should I say Ella? Now you don't have a choice. You belong to this version of you. The camera flash went off again, sealing my fate in pixels. I stood frozen, trapped in heels, surrounded by cheers. The walls closed in. And in that moment I realized, the bet hadn't ended. It had only just begun. The weekend felt like a nightmare I could bury, but when I walked into school, the nightmare was already waiting for me. Sunday night had been torture. I'd scrubbed my skin raw trying to erase the lipstick stains, the smell of Samantha's perfume, the lingering press of tights against my thighs. But no matter how hard I scrubbed, I couldn't erase the memory of that mirror. The girl who wasn't me, but who looked back with haunting eyes. And the photos. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the flash, the grins of Samantha's friends, Jess holding up her phone like a weapon. Maybe they won't post them, I told myself. Maybe it was just for that night. But a gnawing dread whispered otherwise. When Monday morning came, I pulled on my usual hoodie and jeans, hood up, head down. My reflection in the mirror looked normal again. Ordinary. Safe. But I didn't feel safe. I felt like I was walking into a battlefield. The moment I stepped onto campus, I felt it. Eyes. Too many eyes. A ripple of whispers followed me as I crossed the courtyard. Some students stared openly. Others smirked into their phones. My stomach dropped. I yanked out my own phone, hands trembling, and opened Instagram. There it was. My face. No, her face. Ella. In the floral dress, heels, berry red lips. Labeled with tags I didn't want to read. Hashtag cutest girl at the party. Hashtag who is Ella. Hashtag not who you think. Hundreds of likes. Dozens of comments. Some laughed. Some praised. Some speculated. But all of them saw me. Ella. The shout cut through the noise. I spun around. Natalie was striding across the courtyard, phone in hand, grins stretched ear to ear. Oh, you look so different today, she teased, eyes raking over my hoodie. Where's the dress, huh? Laughter bubbled from the crowd nearby. My cheeks burned. Stop it, I muttered, trying to push past. But Natalie stepped in front of me, holding her phone like a spotlight. Oh, come on. Everyone's dying to see more of Ella. You should be proud. You are the star of the party. Click. Another picture. Me, cornered, humiliated. I shoved past her and ran. I burst into the nearest restroom, slammed the stall door shut, and pressed my back against it, chest heaving. Tears blurred my vision. My hands shook uncontrollably as I scrolled through more comments. Who knew Ethan could pull this off? She's prettier than half the girls here. Is it real or Photoshop? I wanted to scream, to smash my phone. But the worst part? A part of me read the compliments twice. The door creaked open. Footsteps echoed. Ethan? I froze. Samantha's voice. She knocked lightly on the stall. Come on. Don't hide in here. I swallowed hard. You promised. You said it was just a party. You let them. My voice cracked. You let them ruin me. Silence. Then her cool reply. Ruin you? Ethan, they loved you. You were unforgettable. That's not who I am, I hissed. Her tone sharpened. Then prove it. Walk out there as Ethan. Let them laugh you out of existence. Or, she let the word linger. Accept that maybe Ella isn't as fake as you think. My fists clenched. She had orchestrated everything. She'd fed me to them. And yet, I couldn't deny the weight of her words. When I finally left the bathroom, the halls felt narrower than ever. That's when it happened. A group of sophomore girls stopped me. They weren't laughing. They weren't mocking. One of them smiled softly and said, Hey, Ella, right? I froze. Her eyes were kind. I just wanted to say, you looked really pretty. Like, seriously. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The others nodded in agreement. I stammered something incoherent and hurried away, but their voices lingered in my ears. Pretty. They called me pretty. And for one terrifying second, I didn't hate it. By lunchtime, the whispers had grown into a storm. Phones pointed my way at every corner. My name, Ella, echoed in the cafeteria louder than my real one ever had. Then came the worst moment yet. Jess stood up on a table, phone in hand, and called out, Attention, everyone. Who wants to see Ella strut her stuff? The crowd erupted in cheers. I froze mid-step, tray in my hands, as every eye turned to me. Come on, Ella, Natalie shouted. Give us a twirl. Heat surged through me, panic threatening to choke. I shook my head furiously. No. The crowd booed playfully, some laughing, some chanting my new name. And then, Samantha's voice, slicing through the noise. Don't pressure her. For once, she was defending me. Or so it seemed. But then she smirked, eyes locking on mine. She'll show you when she's ready. The cafeteria roared with approval. And in that moment, I knew she'd just trapped me again. As I fled the cafeteria, one thought echoed like a drumbeat in my skull. No matter what I did, no matter how much I denied it, Ella was already more real to them than Ethan ever was. And if I didn't fight back soon, I wasn't sure Ethan would survive at all. If the whole school already thinks you're a girl, Ethan, then you might as well learn to play the part. That night, I found myself pacing my bedroom floor, phone buzzing nonstop with notifications I didn't dare open. Every corner of my school life, friends, classmates, even teachers, must have seen the viral post by now. And at the center of it all was Samantha. When my phone lit up again, I almost ignored it until I saw her name. Samantha, meet me tomorrow. After school. No excuses. My stomach nodded. I wanted to block her, to shut her out completely. But I couldn't. She had power over me, and I knew it. The next day, true to her word, she cornered me after the final bell, slipping her hand around my wrist with practiced ease. You're coming with me, she said, not a question but a command.
I didn't resist.
She led me to her house, a sprawling place that felt far too elegant for the chaos in my chest. When she opened her bedroom door, I froze. It wasn't just a room. It was a studio. Racks of dresses lined one wall, rows of shoes on another. Vanity mirrors glowed with perfect lighting, makeup spread like weapons across the table. It looked less like a teenage girl's bedroom and more like a salon, or worse, a stage. Sit, she ordered, pointing at the vanity stool. I hesitated. Why? Because, she said, stepping behind me. If you're going to survive this, you need to look convincing.
And right now?
You don't. You're a boy fumbling in a costume. But I can fix that. Her reflection smirked in the mirror, eyes sharp, predatory. She started with makeup. First lesson, she murmured, holding up a mascara wand. Eyes are the soul. If you can sell the eyes, you can sell the girl. She leaned in, close enough that I could smell her perfume, and carefully brushed the wand along my lashes. My eyes fluttered shut instinctively. Don't move, she whispered. Girls don't flinch. When she finished, I looked back at my reflection. My lashes were darker, longer. Feminine.
Striking. It didn't look like me.
See, she said softly. Already softer. Already prettier. The word prettier lodged in my chest like a thorn. Next came foundation, blush, contour. She guided my hand, forcing me to hold the brushes, teaching me strokes. You'll learn to do this yourself, she said. Because one day, I won't be there to save you. Her tone made it sound less like a lesson and more like a sentence. When the makeup was done, she tossed a pleated skirt at me. Change. Heat flooded my face.
No.
Not again. Her gaze hardened. You can either stumble into school tomorrow and let them laugh you out of existence, or you can show up as Ella, with some dignity. Your choice. My throat closed. She was right. Either way, they already saw me as Ella. With trembling hands, I changed. The skirt swished against my thighs, every brush of fabric a reminder of what I was losing. Shoes, she said, handing me a pair of black heels. I tried to refuse, but she simply raised a brow. Walk in them now, or fall in front of the entire cafeteria later.
So I slipped them on.
The heels wobbled under me, ankles trembling. Chin up, she commanded, circling me like a drill sergeant. Smaller steps. Swing your hips. No boy slouching. I tried. I really tried. But each step felt alien, clumsy. She laughed softly. Pathetic. But we'll fix it. Her hand slid along my lower back, correcting my posture.
There. See?
Already more convincing. Now, she said, sitting back on her bed, eyes glittering, say something. What? Not like that. Say it like her. I shook my head furiously. No way. She tilted her head, voice dripping with faux sweetness. Ethan, if you don't, I'll make sure those videos reach your parents. My blood ran cold. She had videos? Of course she did. I swallowed hard, forcing words out in a higher tone. Hi. Her smirk widened. Closer. Again. I tried again, straining to pitch my voice softer, lighter. She clapped mockingly. There's my Ella. The sound of the name on her lips made me shiver. After hours of relentless drills, walking, speaking, sitting like a lady, my body ached. My pride was shattered. Finally, Samantha pulled me back to the mirror. Look at her, she whispered. And I did. Ella stared back. Smooth skin, lined lips, painted lashes. Skirt and heels. Fragile, feminine, and terrifyingly real. I shook my head, tears welling. That's not me. That's not who I am. Samantha leaned down, lips close to my ear. Then why, she whispered. Do you look at her like you almost believe it? The words cut deeper than anything else. Because she was right. For a fleeting, horrifying second, I did believe it. And I didn't know if I could ever unsee Ella again. The morning after felt heavier than any test I had ever sat for. The sunlight streaming through the blinds was far too bright, cruelly mocking me with its warmth while I lay frozen in dread. Last night's laughter still echoed in my head, the way everyone at the party had cheered when I lost that ridiculous stare. 1 week, one whole week in skirts. The words had seemed like a joke at first. I had laughed nervously, thinking someone would step in, declare it silly, let me off the hook. But no one did. Not even Emily. Especially not Emily. She had been the one to whisper in my ear before I left. Don't back out, or I'll make sure the whole school knows you're a coward. You don't want that, do you? Her voice was a strange mixture of kindness and cruelty, like honey laced with venom. She smiled so warmly, yet her eyes dared me to defy her. Emily showed up at my door before I could even think about making excuses. She carried a shopping bag in one hand, her expression bubbling with excitement. Morning, princess, she said. I flinched. Don't call me that. Oh, but you are one now, she teased, stepping inside uninvited. She spread the contents of the bag across my bed, a pleated plaid skirt, a white blouse, knee-high socks, and my throat went dry, something silky and lacy in pastel pink. My chest tightened. Emily, I can't. You can and you will. She cut me off, her tone sharp beneath her smile. Or should I text the group chat and tell them you're chickening out? I wanted to scream, to shove her and her stupid bag out the door, but my hands refused to move. Instead, I stood there trembling while she held up the skirt against my legs. It'll look adorable, she whispered, almost like she was talking to herself. I thought she would leave me to change, but Emily didn't. She sat on the edge of my bed, crossed her legs, and tilted her head. Go on. Try it. My skin crawled under her gaze. You're just gonna watch? Of course, she said sweetly. I can't risk you putting it on wrong. Besides, her eyes gleamed. I want to see. Every movement felt like a betrayal of who I was. Slipping out of my jeans, stepping hesitantly into the skirt, it was like shedding layers of my old self. The fabric swished against my thighs, alien yet disturbingly soft. Then came the blouse, which hugged me tighter than I expected, outlining a body I suddenly hated for looking too plain, too boyish. Wait, Emily said, standing and rummaging in the bag again. She pulled out a bra, light pink, delicate straps. You forgot this. My cheeks burned. Emily, this is too much. Do you want me to do it for you? She interrupted, holding it up like a threat. I swallowed hard, fumbling with the straps. It was humiliating. My reflection in the mirror mocked me, a boy pretending to be something he wasn't. But Emily clapped her hands like a proud stylist. Perfect. Almost. She reached into her purse and pulled out a lipstick tube. No, I muttered, stepping back. Yes, she countered, grabbing my chin gently but firmly. Just one swipe. You'll look beautiful. Her hand was steady. Mine was trembling. The cold wax brushed against my lips, leaving them tinted, soft, and undeniably feminine. When she finally stepped back, she exhaled like she had just painted a masterpiece.
See?
You don't look like a joke. You look, she paused, eyes narrowing as if savoring the moment. Like you belong in it. The real nightmare began when she dragged me outside. Emily, I can't. What if someone sees? That's the point, she said cheerfully, linking her arm with mine. A bet's no fun if you just hide in your room all week. You have to be seen. Otherwise, it doesn't count. My legs nearly buckled as we walked toward the cafe near school. Every step made the skirt sway. Every breeze teased at my knees. Every glance from strangers felt like a spotlight. My heart hammered in my ears as we passed a group of girls from class. Their chatter stopped. One of them giggled. Is that no way? Heat flooded my face. I wanted to run, to vanish, to claw the skirt off, and never look back. But Emily held me tight, her smile never faltering. Keep your head high, she whispered. You're prettier than them anyway. For a terrifying second, I almost believed her. When we finally reached the cafe, Emily pushed me through the door with a smirk. And there, sitting at the counter, was someone I never wanted to see me like this. My best friend, Daniel. His eyes widened the moment he saw me. His lips parted in shock. Noah. My entire world froze. He knew me better than anyone, and now he was staring at Ella, not Noah. Time seemed to stop the instant Daniel's gaze fell on me. I froze mid-step, skirt swishing against my trembling legs. Every eye in the cafe didn't matter anymore. Only his did. His eyebrows shot up, mouth slightly open, disbelief radiating from him like heat. Daniel, my voice cracked. A hoarse whisper. Is that Noah? He stammered, pointing uncertainly. Emily's grip on my arm tightened. She leaned close, whispering, Play it cool. You're Ella now. He doesn't know, so act the part. I wanted to scream, to rip off the skirt, to run, but the mirror in my mind reflected her.
Ella.
And for the first time, the difference between Noah and Ella was terrifyingly clear. I stepped forward slowly, heels clicking on the tile floor. Every second felt like a lifetime. Hi, I said, forcing my voice higher, lighter, the one Samantha had drilled into me. Daniel blinked rapidly. Hi,
Noah.
wait, you're. Emily cut in, laughing softly. Daniel, meet Ella. She's been experimenting with a new look. Daniel's eyes darted between us. Experimenting? What do you mean? I kept my gaze down, arms tight against my body. The words sounded strange coming out of my own mouth. Ella, experimenting. Who was I anymore? The cafe had gone quiet. People were noticing the small commotion, whispers curling around us like smoke. Daniel's voice was low now, urgent. Noah, what's happening? Why are you dressed like? I felt a flush of shame burn hotter than the sun. It's to bet, I mumbled, barely meeting his eyes. A bet, he repeated incredulously. Emily's smile widened.
Yes.
He lost a bet at school, didn't he? So now he's embracing it. Isn't that right, Ella? All eyes turned to me. Phones were subtly raised, recording, capturing, judging. I wanted the floor to swallow me whole. But even amidst the panic, I felt it again, the tiniest spark of something new. People were calling me Ella. Some even smiled.
Pretty.
I could hear it. My own heartbeat thudded strangely, faster, warmer. Daniel took a cautious step closer. Noah or Ella? I don't understand. Why? I don't know. I whispered, feeling tears prick at the corners of my eyes. Emily, she made me. I lost the bet, and it's not just a joke anymore. Daniel's eyes softened, sympathy battling confusion. But you're my best friend. I don't want you like this. I'm still me. I shouted, louder than I intended. Heads turned. My voice cracked in the high pitch I had been forced to use. I'm still Noah. Emily's laugh rang out, sweet and cruel. Oh, sweet Noah, or should I say Ella? You're starting to forget, aren't you? Her words pierced me like ice. because she was right. Later that night, I locked myself in my bedroom and sank onto the floor. I stared into my mirror. Ella's reflection smiled back. My lips, painted, my eyes, wide and fluttering with mascara, my skirt and blouse perfectly in place. And then the tears came. Noah was fading. Every small gesture, every step, every word I'd learned to mimic, the training, the humiliation, the small compliments, the whispers had chipped away at who I was. Ella felt real. And worst of all, I was beginning to like her. Daniel's words echoed in my mind. I don't want you like this. But deep down, I didn't know if I could go back. Not anymore. Because for the first time, I felt a dangerous, thrilling pull toward the girl in the mirror. And Emily, she knew exactly how to exploit it. The alarm shrieked like an enemy as I sat frozen in bed. Today wasn't just another day, it was the day. Emily had texted at 6 a.m. Time to face the world, Ella. Hallways.
Cafeteria.
Every eye. Don't chicken out. My stomach churned violently. I wanted to throw the alarm across the room, but my hands were too weak. I had dressed carefully, following every trick Samantha and Emily had taught me. Pleated skirt, pastel blouse, knee socks, and my hair styled just right. Even the shoes, heels I still hated, were firmly on my feet. I stared in the mirror. Ella looked perfect. Too perfect. My reflection smiled innocently, tilting her head. But beneath it, I could feel Noah's heartbeat, frantic and caged, begging to be free. Emily showed up 15 minutes early, as if on cue. Her grin widened when she saw me. Wow, she said, tilting her head. You look unreal. I think the whole school won't survive this. I swallowed, trembling. Emily, what if they laugh? What if they... Stop whining, she interrupted. You'll survive. And even if they laugh, you'll learn fast. Confidence is key. Her confidence radiated, and somehow, despite myself, I shivered in awe and fear. We reached the school entrance and I froze. The hallways were buzzing with students. Lockers clanged, conversations spilled, and every head seemed to turn in our direction as we walked. Emily linked her arm with mine. Let's go, Ella. Walk tall. My legs wobbled with each step. Skirt swaying, heels clicking against linoleum. Every glance felt like fire on my skin. A group of boys snickered, whispering, pointing. One shouted, Hey, Noah. Looking good. I flinched violently. Emily smirked, squeezing my arm. Ignore them. They're just jealous. But I could hear the laughter, see the pointing fingers. My chest tightened. By the time we reached the cafeteria, I could barely breathe. The usual chatter of students stopped abruptly as we entered. Every eye seemed fixed on me. Sit, Emily whispered, nudging me toward an empty table. I obeyed, knees pressed together tightly, hands trembling in my lap. Daniel sat at a nearby table, his gaze locked on me. Shock, confusion, concern, it all swirled in his expression. My stomach flipped. Eat, Emily instructed, nudging a tray toward me. I picked at the food nervously. Every bite felt foreign, every swallow like betraying Noah. And then the whispers began. Is that Noah? Whoa, she looks so pretty. No way. I can't believe it. I felt my face burn. Part of me wanted to shrink into nothingness. Another part, a strange flutter of excitement, ran through me. Pretty? Emily leaned in, lips brushing my ear.
See?
People are noticing. That's the point. Own it, or you'll never survive the week. I nodded, though my hands shook. Every moment was a battle between my old identity and the new one being forced on me. Ella, a voice whispered behind me. I turned slightly. One of the girls from my chemistry class was grinning, eyes sharp. You look amazing. Like, seriously. You might be better than me at this. My heart thumped so loudly, I was sure everyone could hear. A warmth spread through me. Better than her? Could I really be convincing? Emily's grip on my wrist tightened.
See?
You're learning fast. After lunch, Emily insisted we walk the halls again. This time, it was a gauntlet. Students whispered, pointed, and some even recorded videos. One of the popular boys laughed, stepping in front of me. Gonna trip on those heels, Noah? I stumbled slightly. Heat flooded my face. Emily immediately stepped in. Watch her. She's walking fine. Careful, or I'll teach you a lesson too. He backed off, smirking. I wanted to collapse right there. But Emily's smile was triumphant.
See?
You're doing it. They're noticing you. They respect you.
Or fear you.
Sometimes that's enough. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, we returned home. I sank to the floor of my bedroom, skirt still clinging to me, heels discarded in frustration. Emily watched, arms crossed, a small, satisfied smile on her face. You survived, she said.
Barely.
But you survived. I shook my head. This isn't me. I can't. I hate this. She knelt beside me. You hate it now. But soon you won't. And the more you resist, the more fun I'll have. You're changing, whether you like it or not. Her words sent a shiver down my spine. As I stared at the mirror, I realized with a sinking heart. Noah was fading. Ella was here. And tomorrow, Emily had promised a new test, one that would put me in the spotlight for the entire school assembly. I wasn't sure if I could survive it. The alarm shrieked again, this time louder and more threatening. Today wasn't just another hallway stroll, it was the assembly. The thought alone made my stomach twist into knots. Emily had texted at 6 a.m. Big day, Ella. Full attention. Full exposure. Don't embarrass yourself or me. I stared at my reflection. Pleated skirt, blouse crisp, hair styled, makeup flawless. The Ella persona glared back at me. I was beautiful, undeniably feminine and mortified. Every muscle in my body screamed to run, to hide under my bed, to strip off the humiliating outfit and flee. But I knew I couldn't. Emily's words from yesterday echoed in my mind. The more you resist, the more fun I'll have. You're changing whether you like it or not. She arrived at my door, smirking. Ready to dazzle them all? I don't think I can, I admitted, voice cracking. Oh, you can. And you will, she said sharply, pulling me into the living room. This is more than a bet now, Noah. This is transformation. Your choice is over. Your fear doesn't matter. Only your performance does. Her words chilled me, but beneath the fear, a tiny spark of something else flickered. Anticipation. Maybe even excitement. The gym was packed. Students filled the bleachers, murmuring, laughing, and whispering about the surprise Emily had promised. I clung to Emily's arm as we approached the stage. My legs wobbled, skirt swishing with every step. The heels that had once felt awkward now threatened to betray me entirely. Emily whispered, "Keep your chin up, shoulders back. Walk like you own it." I wanted to collapse, but I obeyed. Step by step, inch by inch, toward the spotlight. The moment I reached the center of the stage, the gym fell silent. Every eye fixed on me. The weight of judgment, curiosity, and awe pressed down on my shoulders. Emily stepped back, arms crossed, her smile cruelly proud. "Show them, Ella." I tried to speak, but my voice was barely audible. Hi. Laughter bubbled from the back. Whispers, some admiring, some mocking, rippled through the crowd. A teacher cleared her throat. "Ella, would you like to introduce yourself?" I nodded, swallowing hard. I'm
Ella.
The word felt foreign on my tongue, but the students repeated it among themselves, like a chant. Ella, Ella. Emily instructed me to walk across the stage, twirling slightly at the end. My heart pounded as I obeyed. Heels clicked, skirts swayed. Every movement watched. A few students recorded videos, some took pictures, all whispering. One boy shouted, "Wow, she looks incredible." Another girl whispered, "Better than any of us." Heat surged through me. Confusion, humiliation, and a strange thrill tangled inside me. Was this fun? Emily leaned forward from the side of the stage, her eyes gleaming.
"See?
You're learning. You're beautiful. They notice. They admire you." Admire? That word made my chest tighten. A dangerous warmth spread across my body, a mix of fear and excitement. After the stage walk, I sat in the gym bleachers, knees shaking, makeup slightly smudged from nervous touches. Emily crouched beside me. You survived the test.
Barely.
But more importantly, you're learning to enjoy it. I shook my head violently. No, I hate this. I hate everything. Her hand cupped my cheek. You hate it now, but soon you'll love it. And even if you don't, you'll never be the same. You're becoming someone else entirely. I stared at my reflection in the polished gym floor, the murmurs of students echoing around me. Noah was disappearing. Ella was taking over. As we left the gym, Emily whispered, almost lovingly, "Tomorrow we're going shopping. Public mall. Full transformation. Heels, makeup, skirts, and your first real date as Ella." I froze. A real date? With who? And would anyone recognize Noah beneath the perfect girl standing in the mirror? Every pair of eyes in the mall was on me, and for the first time, I realized I wasn't just Ella in my bedroom. I was Ella everywhere. Emily's text woke me up before my alarm. Mall day. Heels, skirt, blouse. And don't forget, full makeup. Time to show the world Ella. My heart sank. Public mall? Hundreds of strangers? I couldn't even manage a single day in the hallways without trembling. I stared at my reflection. Pleated skirt perfectly pressed, blouse tucked, hair curled to perfection, makeup flawless. Ella's eyes glimmered back at me, almost daring me. I felt trapped. Between Noah fading and Ella demanding attention, I didn't know who I was anymore. Emily grinned from the passenger seat. You're going to turn heads today. And don't worry, I'll guide you. The mall entrance loomed ahead. Windows reflected my figure, skirt swaying, heels clicking, arms slightly stiff with nervousness. I caught a glimpse of myself and flinched. Stop hiding, Emily whispered. Walk tall, shoulders back. Every head will turn. I swallowed hard. The door slid open, and we stepped inside. Instantly, heads turned. People whispered, nudged friends, pointed subtly. Some teenagers smirked, clearly recognizing Noah beneath the feminine exterior. Emily whispered. Own it. This is your new reality. I forced each step, heels clicking. Every movement was deliberate, rehearsed. Every sway of my skirt felt like a small humiliation, and yet, something strange sparked in me. A group of teenage girls whispered nearby. She looks so pretty. I froze mid-step. Pretty? The word sent a shiver down my spine. A mix of panic, embarrassment, and a small, undeniable thrill coursed through me. Emily guided me through the mall. First, the clothing store. She handed me a dress. Try it on, she commanded. I hesitated. I don't want to. Now, she said firmly, eyes locking with mine. I obeyed. In the dressing room, I stripped into the underwear I had been practicing in, putting on the dress Emily selected. Every mirror reflected Ella back at me, flawless, feminine, alive. And then the cruelest moment, Emily peeked through the curtain. Perfect. Try walking in it. I did, feeling the eyes of every shopper who had noticed me linger longer than they should. My legs shook. My cheeks burned. And yet, I heard whispers of admiration. We stopped for lunch. The moment we entered, Daniel, who had somehow found out, was sitting at a table, jaw-dropping as he saw me. Ella, he whispered, staring. I froze. Publicly exposed again. My hands trembled, gripping the tray. Emily's hand on my shoulder steadied me. Ignore him. This is your world now. Daniel's friends snickered.
Wow.
Noah or Ella, whoever, looking good, man. I winced, heat burning my cheeks. But I noticed something horrifying and thrilling. I liked the attention. My stomach twisted, nervousness mixed with excitement. Back in the car, I couldn't hold back anymore. Tears streamed down my cheeks. I can't do this, I sobbed. Emily turned, cupping my chin. You can. And you will. Noah is fading, and Ella is ready. You survived every hallway, every stage, every cafeteria, and now, the real world. Her words were cruel but true. And deep down, A spark of something unnameable stirred. Pride?
Excitement?
Or fear of losing control entirely? Emily smiled wickedly. Tomorrow the party. Full makeup, full dress, and your first male attention test as Ella. No hiding. I froze. Male attention? Already my heart raced. Panic, dread, and something darker surged inside me. I wasn't sure I was ready. Emily handed me the invitation the night before. House party. Your full transformation debut. Male attention included. Don't chicken out. I stared at the card, hands trembling. A party? Crowds? Stares? Boys noticing me? My chest tightened with panic. Emily smirked. It's time, Ella. Tonight, you're not just a girl at school. You're their girl. I swallowed hard. My reflection in the mirror. Blonde curls perfectly framed, dress hugging me in all the right places, looked back. Ella. Beautiful. Feminine.
Terrifying.
Noah was gone. The music hit before we even reached the door. Bass thumped through my chest, making every nerve scream. The house was packed. Lights, laughter, conversations, and the subtle hum of cameras. Emily adjusted my hair. Keep your chin up. Smile. Walk like you own this room. I stepped inside, heels clicking, skirts swaying, heart pounding. Everyone turned. Whispers rippled across the room. I felt like prey and like the hunted. One boy's voice cut through. Whoa, she's stunning. I froze. That word again.
Stunning.
The warmth spread from my chest, tingling down to my toes. Something strange, thrilling, was happening. Almost immediately, a boy approached, casual but curious. Hi. I don't think we've met. I'm Mark. I swallowed, voice higher than intended. I'm Ella. He smiled, complimented my dress, my hair, the way I moved. I felt my face heat, but a small, dangerous thrill coursed through me. Emily leaned close, whispering, Notice that? That's what happens when you embrace it. You like it, don't you? I shook my head violently.
No.
I hate this. I hate this. But my body betrayed me. Warmth spread, pulse racing, heartbeat loud in my ears. Mark leaned closer. You have amazing eyes. I blinked, nervous, embarrassed, heat burning my cheeks. Every word, every gaze, every compliment chipped away at Noah. Emily watched from the side, satisfied.
See?
You're learning to enjoy the attention. You're transforming. I wanted to cry, scream, and run. And yet, a part of me, the part that was Ella, thrived on it. The party continued. Boys approached, whispered, flirted. Every laugh, every compliment, every glance felt like a nail in Noah's coffin. I found a quiet corner, gripping my drink. Tears threatened again. Emily approached, hand on my shoulder. You're doing perfectly. Noah is fading. Ella is emerging. And tonight, you'll see what it feels like to be wanted. Her words hit like ice and fire. I was terrified, and more than a little curious. A familiar voice broke through the music. Ella, wait. I froze. My heart skipped. Someone from my past recognized me. Emily smirked wickedly. Perfect timing. Let's see if Ella can survive this one without Noah screaming to get out. I froze when I saw him, my old friend staring at Ella, shock and disbelief etched across his face, and suddenly Noah had no place to hide. The music thumped, laughter and chatter blending into a dizzying whirl of sound. I was leaning against the wall, trying to catch my breath, heels digging painfully into my feet. And then I saw him, Jason, my best friend from childhood. His eyes widened, jaw slack, and he froze mid-step. Recognition flashed across his face, a mixture of confusion and disbelief. Ella, wait a second, he whispered, voice catching. Noah. My stomach lurched. My heart pounded violently in my chest. Emily, standing beside me, grinned wickedly. Oh, this'll be fun. Time for Ella to meet her past. Jason's friends crowded around, murmuring and laughing nervously. Is that really? I think it's Noah. I wanted to melt into the floor, disappear entirely. But Emily stepped forward, hand on my shoulder. Say hi, Ella. You're doing so well. I swallowed hard, voice trembling. Hi. Jason's eyes softened for a moment. Confusion battled recognition. Noah, is that really you? The room felt suffocating. Every whisper, every stare, every judgment pinned me in place. Emily leaned close, whispering in my ear. Remember, Noah is gone. Ella takes over now. They don't need to know the truth unless you want them to. Show them your confidence. I shook, glancing at my reflection in a nearby mirror. Ella's eyes stared back, unwavering, confident, feminine. I felt a mix of terror and admiration for this persona that had emerged from me. Emily encouraged me to walk toward Jason and his friends. Each step made my legs wobble. Every whisper and stare pierced me. Jason extended a hand, uncertain. I don't even know what to say. I forced a small, graceful smile. You don't have to say anything. I'm Ella now. He blinked, stunned. Ella. Emily's grin widened.
Yes.
And she's perfect. The attention intensified. Boys whispered, girls gossiped, and everyone recorded videos or snapped pictures. I felt a strange mix of shame, fear, and an odd thrill. After the confrontation, I ran to the bathroom, locking the door behind me. Tears streamed down my face as I stared at my reflection. Noah's face had faded completely. Ella's eyes stared back, wide and anxious, yet undeniably feminine. I whispered to myself, voice breaking. Who am I now? Emily's words echoed in my mind. You're becoming someone else entirely. Noah is gone. Ella is emerging. And soon, the world will only see her. A knock on the door startled me. Jason's voice called softly. Ella, can we talk? Alone. I froze. Every instinct screamed danger. Every beat of my heart reminded me that tonight, I wasn't Noah. I was Ella, and Ella might not be ready to face the past. Alone in the corner, with Jason staring at me like he was trying to solve a puzzle, I realized there was no pretending. Ella had to face the truth. After the confrontation in the main room, Emily whispered, Go. Alone. This is part of the test. My heart leapt into my throat. Alone with Jason? Panic surged, but Emily's steadying hand reminded me of the rules. Obedience was survival. I followed Jason to a quieter balcony overlooking the city lights. The music thumped faintly through the walls, a distant heartbeat compared to the storm inside me. Jason leaned against the railing, arms crossed, eyes searching mine. Ella or Noah? I don't even know what to call you. I shivered, clutching my skirt. You don't understand. I'm Ella now. He frowned, tilting his head. But you are Noah. My friend. Gone. I whispered, almost instinctively. Noah is gone. There's only Ella now. Jason's eyes softened, hurt and confusion mingling. But why? Why this? Why like this? Tears threatened again. I felt trapped between two identities, both pulling in opposite directions. Emily's voice echoed in my memory. Every step, every attention, every public exposure is part of the transformation. Noah is fading. Ella is emerging. I realized she was right. The thrill, the fear, the humiliation, they weren't just cruel games. They were shaping me, and Jason's presence made it undeniable. I don't know how it happened, I whispered. One day it was a bet, a prank, Emily's control, and now I'm this.
Ella.
I don't even know if I can go back. Jason stepped closer, voice gentle. Do you want to go back? The question hit me harder than anything else. My heart raced. Every instinct screamed to scream yes, but part of me, the part that was Ella, trembled with fear and excitement. Jason's hand reached out, hesitating before brushing a stray curl from my face. Heat surged through me. My chest tightened. I felt both terrified and strangely alive. I don't know, I admitted, voice shaking. Part of me, I like some of this, but I hate it too. I hate losing myself. He nodded, understanding yet curious. Ella, you're beautiful.
And I
Want to understand, but you have to be honest with yourself. His gaze pierced through me. Noah was gone, at least in public. But in private, in this intimate moment, the tension between my past and present selves felt unbearable. Suddenly, Emily's voice came through a phone vibration in my pocket. A text. Time for the final test, Ella. Public date with Mark. No excuses. Be perfect. My stomach flipped. Public date, male attention. Panic, dread, and an unnameable thrill surged inside me. Ella's identity was about to be tested in ways I had never imagined. Every step I took beside him, I felt the weight of hundreds of eyes and the fragile remnants of Noah slipping further away. Emily's text the night before had been crystal clear. Full dress, heels, makeup perfect. Mark waits. Don't disappoint. I stared at my reflection, hands trembling. The dress hugged every curve, the heels elevated my posture, and my hair fell in flawless waves. Ella looked perfect, but I felt hollow. Emily adjusted my lipstick. Remember, Noah doesn't exist today. You are Ella. Confident, feminine, irresistible. I swallowed hard, uncertain if I could embrace this. But Emily's unwavering gaze left no room for hesitation. Mark was waiting at a small cafe, sipping coffee, looking casual but intrigued. When he saw me, his eyes widened.
Wow.
Ella, he whispered. You look incredible. Heat surged through me, tingling down to my toes. My cheeks burned. Panic and thrill collided inside me. Emily leaned in from the side, whispering, Smile. Enjoy it. This is your first real test. I nodded, swallowing my fear, and followed Mark inside. Throughout the cafe, Mark complimented everything. My dress, my laugh, the way I moved. Every glance from other patrons made me hyper-aware. Whispers floated through the air. She's so pretty. I stiffened with embarrassment, but a part of me, the part that was Ella, thrived on the attention. My heartbeat quickened with every smile, every compliment. Mark reached across the table, brushing my hand lightly. You're amazing, Ella. Really. The warmth in my chest twisted with guilt, shame, and an unnameable thrill. After the cafe, we walked through a crowded street. Every pair of eyes seemed to fix on me. My knees wobbled in the heels, my skirt swaying with every step. I whispered to myself, Noah, you're gone.
This is Ella now.
Emily's voice buzzed again in my pocket. Perfect. Keep him interested. Confidence is key. I nodded, forcing a smile at Mark, who looked enchanted. But inside, the war raged. Part of me longed to run, to scream, to reclaim Noah. Another part, a darker, thrilling part, wanted to remain Ella and feel this new attention. Mark suggested a small boutique afterward. Emily whispered in my ear, Try something daring. Show him your feminine side fully. I followed her instructions, trying on dresses I never imagined wearing. Every mirror reflected Ella, beautiful, confident, feminine. And every compliment from Mark shredded what remained of Noah. I can't believe this is you, Mark murmured. You look perfect. I felt heat rise to my cheeks, my pulse racing. The thrill of approval clashed with panic, and I realized I was changing in ways I couldn't reverse. As we stepped outside, Jason appeared again, staring. His expression was a mixture of awe and disbelief. Emily's whisper cut through my panic. See? Noah is fading. Ella is emerging. And now, the world will see her, and you'll have to survive it. I froze, caught between fear and fascination, knowing that this public test was only the beginning. When Jason stepped closer, eyes searching mine, I realized there was no escaping the collision between who I was and who I had become. The crowded street outside the cafe felt suffocating. My heels clicked sharply against the pavement, each step a reminder of my feminine disguise. Jason's silhouette appeared at the corner of my vision. His expression, shock, confusion, and an undeniable longing made my chest tighten painfully. Ella, wait, he called, voice wavering. Emily's hand rested lightly on my shoulder. Handle him, she whispered. Noah doesn't exist. I froze. Handle him? My heart raced, panic and curiosity battling inside me. Jason caught up, stepping close. Ella or Noah? I don't understand. How did this happen?
I
don't know, I whispered, voice trembling. One day, it was a joke, a bet, Emily, and now I'm this. Ella. His eyes softened, a mix of sympathy and hurt. But you were my friend, my partner in everything. And now, you're someone else. A girl, and I don't know how to feel about it. Tears threatened. Part of me wanted to shout, to reclaim Noah. Another part, the part that had become Ella, thrilled at the attention, at being seen as beautiful, feminine, and delicate. Jason's hand reached out, brushing a loose curl from my face. I shivered. His touch ignited a confusing mix of panic and excitement. I don't know if I want to go back, I admitted, voice breaking. Part of me, I like some of this, the attention, the way it feels. But I hate it too. Emily's earlier words echoed. Every step, every public exposure, every compliment, it's shaping her. Noah is fading. The truth hit me harder than anything else. I was changing. Noah was slipping further away. And Jason's presence made it impossible to ignore. Jason leaned closer. Ella, I still care about you. But I need to know, are you still Noah inside? Or are you someone else entirely? I swallowed, trembling. I don't know. I'm somewhere in between. And it terrifies me. His gaze softened, but the intensity never wavered. Then you need to figure it out. But know this, I see you, whoever you are. And I want to help. The warmth of his words, the closeness, the attention, it made my chest flutter, mixing guilt, fear, and desire. Suddenly, Emily's voice came from across the street, a text buzzing in my pocket. Final challenge, Ella. The beauty pageant. Full stage, full audience, full exposure. You can't hide. My knees buckled. Public stage. Hundreds of eyes. Male attention. Total humiliation. And I, Ella, would have to perform flawlessly. Panic surged, but a small, thrilling spark ignited. The world was watching, and Noah had no place left to hide. The lights blinded me, the applause deafened me, and I realized there was no turning back. Noah was gone, and Ella had to take the stage. The venue glittered with chandeliers, mirrors, and excited chatter. Hundreds of people milled about, some carrying cameras, others chatting in groups. I clutched my dress, heels digging into my feet, and tried to steady my racing heart. Emily leaned close. This is it, Ella. Full exposure. You can't hide. And remember, you're perfect. I nodded, swallowing hard. My reflection in the mirror backstage stared back at me. Ella. Elegant, feminine, breathtakingly beautiful. But inside, Noah still whispered, afraid and conflicted. The music began, spotlight illuminating the runway. My heels clicked against the polished floor. Every step, every sway of my hips, every glance toward the audience reminded me that the world was watching. Whispers floated through the crowd. She's gorgeous. Look at her, stunning. I felt warmth flood my body, a strange mix of humiliation, pride, and thrill. Part of me, the part that was Ella, thrived on the attention. Another part, the part that was Noah, wanted to disappear entirely. Emily's voice echoed in my mind. Own it, Ella. Make them see you. Boys in the audience watched intently, some openly flirting, others whispering to friends. Each glance, each comment, each cheer chipped away at Noah's identity. One boy, Mark, gave me a thumbs up from the front row. Heat surged through my chest, and my cheeks flushed. I realized with a jolt that I was beginning to enjoy the admiration, the praise, the validation of being seen as feminine and beautiful. Halfway down the runway, I froze. The room spun. Memories of Noah flashed, his friends, his awkwardness, his teenage self, colliding with Ella's confident, feminine persona. Tears blurred my vision. I wanted to scream, to run, to tear off the dress and escape. And yet the applause, the flashing lights, the excitement. It pulled me forward. Emily whispered in my ear, steady and commanding. Keep walking. You are Ella. Noah is gone. You are perfect. I forced another step, another sway, feeling my transformation solidify with every movement. At the center of the stage, I faced the judges. Every eye was on me. Every whisper, every camera, every cheer intensified the melting away of Noah.
I'm
Ella, I whispered to myself, voice shaky but defiant. The name tasted foreign and intoxicating on my tongue. The final round approached. Judges smiled, audience cheered, and I felt a wave of overwhelming emotion. Fear, thrill, humiliation, pride, all fused together. Noah's voice was gone. Ella stood fully formed, feminine, beautiful, and painfully aware of her new identity. As the applause swelled and the spotlight dimmed, Emily's voice rang in my mind. You did it. But remember, the world knows Ella now, and Ella has no choice but to embrace it. I realized, standing on that stage, that life would never be the same. Noah was gone forever, replaced by a new existence, beautiful, feminine, and completely exposed. Weeks had passed, and every reflection, every glance, every whispered compliment reminded me I was no longer Noah. I was Ella, and this life was mine to live whether I wanted it or not. Sunlight filtered through sheer curtains, landing softly on my face. I sat on the edge of the bed, brushing my long, silky hair. The mirror reflected not the shy, awkward boy I once was, but a confident, feminine woman, Ella. I ran my fingers over my cheeks, tracing the smoothness of the foundation, the delicate curve of my jaw. My heart still twinged with nostalgia for Noah, but the fear had faded. The thrill, the attention, the beauty, it had become part of me. Emily's text from this morning buzzed. Good morning, Ella. Ready to take the world today? I smiled, fingers lingering on the screen. I am Ella. I can face it. Walking through campus, I felt the weight and excitement of being fully seen as a girl. Heads turned, whispers followed, some admiring, others shocked. But I walked with confidence. My skirts swayed, heels clicking, makeup flawless. Boys and girls alike complimented me. Mark smiled warmly from across the quad, waving. Jason approached, hesitated, then gave a small, approving nod. Ella, you really are amazing, he said softly. The words no longer carried the sting of shame. They were validation, part of the life I had chosen, or that had been chosen for me. Later, in a quiet corner of the library, I met Mark again. He smiled, leaning close. I'm glad you're
Ella.
Confident, beautiful, and yourself. I laughed softly, heart fluttering. I'm figuring out who myself really is. It's strange, but I like her. Some of her, anyway. Mark nodded. And that's okay. You don't have to choose. You can be both or just Ella. It's your life. I realized, in that moment, that the thrill, the fear, the humiliation, and the attention had reshaped me. I didn't miss Noah as much anymore. He was a memory, a whisper beneath the roar of Ella. Back in my room, I stood in front of the mirror again. Heels on, dress flowing perfectly, hair immaculate. Every inch of me reflected transformation, control, and beauty. Emily's voice, soft, commanding, triumphant, echoed in my memory. You've done well, Ella. The world sees you now. You are perfect. I whispered softly. Noah is gone, but I am here. I am Ella. And maybe this is exactly who I'm meant to be. Tears threatened, not from shame, but from realization. Fear had turned into pride. Panic had turned into excitement. Humiliation had turned into empowerment. I stepped outside, heels clicking on the pavement, skirts swaying, the sun catching my hair. Students, strangers, everyone watched, but now I didn't care. I smiled, confident, feminine, unstoppable. In that moment, I understood fully. Transformation wasn't punishment, it was evolution. Noah had been lost, yes, but Ella had emerged stronger, bolder, and undeniably beautiful. And the world would know her and admire her for everything she had become.